Hello. First of all, thank you ever so much for taking the time, showing the interest to watch this hopefully quite short and informative presentation about studying A-levels in modern foreign languages at Haybridge. My name, for those of you who don't know me, is Mr. Kilmartin. I am the head of languages. I have been for about 12 years now, and I teach all the way through to A-level French and German, with a tiny smattering of Spanish, but sadly not good enough to teach A-level. I'm going to introduce you later to the rest of the members of my amazing department, but my main aim is really to explain to you why studying an A-level in a foreign language is such an amazing thing, exciting, a real feather in your cap, and a really useful tool for later life. I'm just going to read this out, this quote from one of my students from last year. So if you think that you would enjoy studying a challenging and fulfilling subject and would love to engage in debate on a wide variety of subject matter, ranging from the influence of social media in modern society to the fall of the Berlin Wall, then studying a foreign language at A-level is a great choice. Here at Haybridge, we study the Pearson Edexcel A-level, which will, after GCSE, will deepen your understanding of topic vocabulary on a wide range of themes. We will do grammar, we do a bit of literature, quite different to what you may have experienced, for example, for English GCSE. Film studies, history, all sorts of different topics. The class sizes are pretty much pretty small, which is typical in most schools. But what it does mean is it allows more immersion in the target language, which for you means you are just going to become really fluent, just awesome in the language. Your language skills will just rocket, be absolutely brilliant. So here is my amazing department. I'm very privileged to lead such an experienced department. There's a lot of years, too many years, I would like to mention really, that we've been teaching for. I've introduced myself. Mrs. Collins is a teacher of A-level French. Mrs. Chadwick is a teacher of A-level German, although she teaches French as well up to GCSE. Mrs. Pritchard is one of my Spanish specialists, and Mr. Buffery, who seems to do every language under the sun, but he does A-level Spanish and German. So we're very unique really in that all members of the department can teach and have taught for many years up to A-level. This is a quick photo of our department. As you can see, we're very well resourced, have this breakout area here for access to the computers, which can be very useful when it's busy in other areas of the school and you're trying to find somewhere quiet to study. We teach in the classrooms on the language floor, but we also sometimes teach in the very nice classrooms over in the sixth form building. So what can you expect? It's going to be very different. Your GCSE lessons are going to be very different from your MFL lessons in the sixth form. We have 10 periods of MFL a fortnight. Nine are taught with one independent learning period. Homework will be set each week by both subject teachers, because that's something different as well, is that you will have more than one teacher, which also gives you a bit of variety, I like to think. Students are expected to spend around the same amount of time as spent in their lessons completing homework and doing extra reading to develop their learning. This will be a subject that you've chosen to do, hopefully something you're passionate about, because goodness me, we are incredibly passionate about what we do. So you do need to read around the subject. There will be an expectation that students will spend lesson time taking an active role in a range of learning tasks, including research, presentations, paired, group-based activities, and tasks to develop your higher level thinking skills. and you will have access to the online dynamic learning resource, which is a textbook with all the homework resources as well behind that online, and you will make extensive use of that in your studies. So a very sort of quick overview of what you do in each language. There are 2 language themes, as you can see here, theme 1, theme 2. For French, it's all about changes in French society. So you see these are much more grown-up topics than you will have done at GCSE, where it talks about just, I like to play football because I am very sporty. We go into a much more interesting examination of your opinions and what happens in the target language. So you're going to learn, for example, in theme 2, all about music, media, festivals and traditions. And what will also start in Year 12 in the summer, when your language skills are really, really good, we'll actually start reading a book. And obviously there are English copies as well, so you can make sure that you're keeping up with what it is you're reading. But at the moment, the text we do for French is called Nous et Moi, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful book, really, really good story. As you go into Year 13, we have these quite sort of big topics. So language theme 3 is about immigration and French multicultural society. So what are the positives of immigration for a country? What is difficult in a country in terms of accommodating immigrants? Also, sort of looking at the negative reaction as well of the far right. Language theme 4 is always a historical based one. So for French, it's about the occupation of France and the resistance during the Second World War. And as I mentioned earlier, we do film studies. So in French, we do the film Les Choristes, which again is a beautiful, beautiful film. Incredible music. It's just a lovely film. In German, you'll see this, the same sort of themes, very little difference there. The topic, the literary topic, the literary studies is, we read a book called The Visit of the Old Lady, Der Besuch der alten Dame. And then in Year 13, we have the, again, about immigration, but the historical theme is about the reunification of Germany, which is something I'm very passionate about, because that was kind of the time of when I was at school, and I was there, and I even chipped a bit off the Berlin Wall and took it home. So that's something that I've actually lived through and experienced myself. And the film that we study that links in perfectly into that is, it's set in that time. It's called Goodbye Lenin. If you haven't seen that, again, absolutely fantastic film. In Spanish, again, we've got the same sort of themes 1 and 2. The literary study, if I say this correctly, Como agua para chocolate. And then in year 13, the historical one is all about about Franco and his rise to power, the Spanish Civil War, and the film is Pan's Labyrinth, which again is an amazing film. Usually when we talk about extracurricular opportunities, we have all sorts of things going on, visits to local universities and such like, but obviously at the moment we're in the same position as every other school sixth form. One of the things which our sixth formers tend to do, which is just really, really cool, is work experience in the target language country. So whether that's in France, in Spain, in Germany, and they've gone off and worked in schools, in kindergartens, and just come back. Their language is amazing. They've had a fantastic time, because let's face it, learning a language, like any skill, it's playing the long game. It takes a long time till you get really good, until you go and spend some time in the country, and then suddenly, as we have all done, we've all worked abroad and studied abroad, in all of the teachers in the department. So that's how your languages get good. And this is a little taster, if you like, just a week working abroad. We do also, if numbers allow, and also travel conditions allow, we run a study trip to Berlin for those doing German. Oh my gosh, where can MFL take you? Well, I'm just going to read this through with you if that's okay. So learning a language is all about widening your horizons and opening doors that you never knew existed, whether you're travelling or working. Whilst there are career paths which are more obvious, such as working in tourism, translating, interpreting, language teaching even, the fact is that language graduates often move into a wide range of well-paid careers, including journalism, law and business. These are things that my friends that I studied with have gone off into post-university. People with qualification in languages are highly sought, believe me on this, they are highly sought after by universities and employers for their skills. And this is a fact that salaries often reflect that. And I have colleagues in the department who have worked outside of teaching, and they will tell you that they were paid more than other people in their office just because they had even just A-level languages. Personally myself, I've used my languages even before I went to university. I took a gap year. I was working in Paris doing translating, working in offices. I spent 3.5-4 months working in a ski resort in Switzerland purely because I had A-level French and German, and that allowed me to get my foot in the door. And just sort of weird things as well. I worked in Euro Disney, and because of all those life experiences, I worked in a pub and then ran that pub for an amount of time. So it's amazing how one thing can lead on to the other. Don't think that you know where all the exciting things which are going to open up to you. You need to be thinking about what we call facilitating subjects, and definitely modern foreign languages are a facilitating subject. Lower down the school, you could see them as pretty much the same as the English Baccalaureate, the EBAC subjects, but the Russell Group universities will be looking for students who have done as many of these at A level as possible. You're looking at things like English, maths, humanities. Why do they want them? Well, it means you develop a range of skills in our subject that are transferable at a higher level study. So for us, very much the key thing is communication, but it's also weird things as well. We're supposed to be better linguists at IT skills, but they give you suitable preparation for the next step. Many courses at Russell Group universities require you to have studied one or more facilitating subjects, and you will have a much wider range of opinions open to you at university. If you want to read more about that, then just click on that link there and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, all of the Haybridge Open Evening resources can be found by visiting the school website. We look forward to welcoming you to our classrooms in September 2021. But listen, I would always end by saying, if you don't remember any of that, just remember, do the thing you are passionate about, because when the course is hard, it's that passion that will keep you going. And just do the subjects which, if you haven't decided what you want to do yet in life, I certainly hadn't at your age, then just do those subjects which will keep as many doors open to you as possible. So, good luck in the summer. I'm sure you'll do really, really well in your exams, and we hope to see you next year. Okay, thank you very much.